Hi, I'm Stephanie Sabaron, your host for the TDC Today Show. I'd like to welcome you and welcome my co-host Frank Soroka.
Hello, everyone.
And today we have a live studio audience
Awesome.
as well. So welcome to the live studio audience.
Awesome.
I think this is our first live studio audience as
For
well.
our show, yes,
for
absolutely.
this show.
For TDC Today, yes, and we're very excited to be here. Well, I am too.
So am
and
I.
being a co-host, so this is great.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we have an exciting season coming up in Toronto, the holiday season coming up. And a few of the things that are happening are, one of the things that's happening is, and this is happening across North America actually, it's called Santa Cares. And it's happening in 747 sensory-friendly Santa events in 582 shopping centers across North America. And what this is that families, guardians, parents can book time with Santa outside of mall hours for children that have autism, that have sensory issues, that have disabilities, that maybe, are maybe scared by Santa, maybe scared by crowds, the lights, the noise of the mall, that sort of thing. So it's a sensory-friendly event.
I think that's excellent. Is this first of a kind?
I think so, yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
No, and I think, individuals who are on the spectrum, I mean, this is something that they can still participate in. They can enjoy sort of that whole festivity of being with Santa. I think that's great. I think that's a great initiative.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think what they do is they feature dim lights and music set to a lower volume, so it's not as jarring. And Santa is specially trained before all of the events to take cues from the parents on interacting with children who have special needs.
That's excellent.
So I applaud the people that have put this together. I think this is absolutely wonderful. We have, in my husband's family, we have a relative who is a child who's autistic. And I can see how that would benefit him and how that would benefit others. So I think that's just
And just getting
wonderful.
them engaged into that whole activity, I think it's great. Being inclusive, right? And I think hats off to them. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a posting I saw on Facebook that was actually from 2 years ago, but there's a Santa I think it's in New York, that is fluent in sign language.
Wow.
So when deaf children, hearing impaired children come to him, he can actually talk to them and find out what they want. And it's just so wonderful, it's so inclusive, and you see the looks on these children's faces. Santa understands me.
Well, it's magical, right? That's what it's all about, the season too, right?
Absolutely.
So, that's
absolutely.
excellent. That's a great story, Steph.
Yeah, I thought I saw this first on the news. I was so touched by it, so I wanted to let people know about
And now
that.
you all know about it.
That's it. And if you want to find out where these events are happening in Toronto or in Ontario, go to Santa Cares 2019 on Google, and it lists all of the malls that have the events. And also, you can go on there and find out, if you are watching from the U.S., you can find out where the malls in the U.S., what the locations are as well there.
Terrific.
So I think that's just
great.
wonderful. Yeah.
And I guess we'll have to give a little wish list or something when we go.
Yeah.
Are you going to go see Santa?
You know what? I should.
I don't know. I've been kind of naughty.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see.
But,
Anyway, what else is up?
That's it. It's hard to be good every year, all year. Now, the other thing that's coming up is the 2019 International Day for People with Disabilities. And that, their theme is nothing about us without us. And they say that they stand by their conviction that a person is not inherently disabled. Disability is not a feature of a person. We say that people have health impairments. Some of us need wheelchairs to mobilize. Some of us need seeing eye dogs. Some of us need assistive technology, just like some of us need glasses to read or medication to manage pain or an inhaler to manage asthma. This has been going on for a number of years now, identifying barriers, identifying people in the community that are working on behalf of people with disabilities, just the spectrum of the disability community, all aspects. And this is an international event that goes on, that happens every year. In the past, they have had a Unsung Heroes Award for people with disabilities working in the community or on behalf of people with disabilities. I'm actually a 2008 recipient of the Unsung Hero Award from the City of Toronto. So that's something to look up as well, and look at the events that are happening in your area for the International Day of People with Disabilities.
And I know TDC in the past has covered these events as well, so it's something worth to take note of, and it's great that they're celebrating that.
Absolutely, it's so important. Now, you have a show called Socially Served, and
Yes,
for
I do.
viewers that haven't seen it before, tell us about it. And
I'm
what's coming up.
hoping all the viewers have seen it, but in case you haven't seen it, Socially Served, it's interesting, a little bit of a history. A few years ago, actually, I was on, I met Jay Stoyan, the founder of the Disability Channel, and that's how the Socially Served started. I realized as a social service agency that there are a lot of resources out there and a lot of agencies and a lot of services that my clients really weren't sure what was available to them. So I decided to say, let's start a program called Socially Served so that our viewers can be, informed about what's out there and make their own decisions on what services that they'd like to acquire, right? So that's how that Socially Served started. It's been now, I think, 2 years. So yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 years. I love this audience. It's fabulous. So it's been 2 years now, and we touch upon subjects. I mean, we've been, we've actually interviewed an organization that's a courier services for persons with disabilities. We've talked about accessibility in the workplace. We've, different programs that were out there. We've had the Ontario Chamber of Commerce on. We talked about employment. So it's interesting how many agencies are out there that need that exposure to educate and inform our clients and to provide those services to them as well. So, I love the show. I think it's something different all the time. And I think we really do a great service to the community. And it's been a great interviewing different people, hearing about their stories, their successes. And, we still want to expand upon that as well. And, as with the classes that you're actually involved with, digital ventures, we get budding producers and people who have wonderful ideas in terms of podcasts or shows that they want to develop. So it's really that community, that inclusive community, that can really start to bring more content to the channel. And that's what it's all about. I mean, making individuals aware of what's happening out there. And it's so great to see that, when students find their little niche and, they start to explore that. It's such a great thrill to see, them learning and engaging and providing services that are meaningful out there. And often it's education too, right? A lot of corporations or businesses and individuals are really not sure how to, hire people with disabilities. They may be a little bit anxious about that or dealing with accommodations and that sort of thing. So we're really part of an education force too out there to say, hey, this, is nothing off in terms of having, I hate the word disability to tell you one thing. I like the word ability. So it's nothing wrong with having abilities. So, so I think, this is what it's all about. And I know I talked too much about my show. But,
It's okay.
But anyway, I'm excited about it, as you can see.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I encourage all of our viewers to tune in and watch Socially Served.
Tune in, yes. And
Absolutely.
they're on YouTube, and I think they also post a lot of the recent shows up. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we will be back in a moment with our founder, Jay Stoyan, who has some TDC updates.
So don't go away, folks. See you soon.
Be right back.
Hi everybody, this is Dave Stevens, and I wanted to invite you to the 14th Annual High School Youth Leadership Summit, Wednesday, December 4th at the Sheraton Hartford South in Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Jair!
Come on, Jair! So what makes my life so special? Well, you'll have to come December 4th to hear my life story. It will blow your mind. I was born without legs, put up for adoption, lived in poverty, but overcame all of that to play college football and minor league baseball. I've also had a 30-year career in television, including 20 at ESPN. For more information, visit casciac.org. You can register and be a part of the inclusion revolution. Everyone can be a winner. We'll also have breakout sessions on bullying and inclusion. And of course, we have to give special thanks to our sponsors, including my old friends at ESPN. So don't forget to join me, Dave Stevens, as I talk about my amazing life and being at a place like AT&T Stadium with the Dallas Cowboys. 14th Annual High School Youth Leadership Summit, Wednesday, December 4th at the Sheraton Hartford South in Rocky Hill. I'm Dave Stevens. We'll see you there.
Hi, Jay. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Steph. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. And I understand you have some TDC updates for us.
Yeah, before I get to that, I just want to congratulate you and Frank on a wonderful show. This is our flagship show, the Today Show. So Stephanie's a wonderful host. Like you were mentioning earlier, Frank with his own show called Socially Served focuses on employment opportunities for persons with disabilities, showcasing abilities. So I want to thank you for, I won't be long. I just wanted to come on and update our what we're doing here, what we have going on for 220. I wanted to thank our audience members. Beautiful, thank you. I know you're going to be doing some segments later, but I just want to let everybody know that we are showcasing our employment programs today, so this is wonderful. Regarding our platform, we're right now focused on three big projects. And the first one is our disability mobile app, which we're going to be launching either later this year, 2019, or early 2020. It's going to be focused on job portals, social media, a chat line for people out there so we can connect the world. Every community around the world can be connected and, I guess, combat loneliness, which is probably the number one, negative thing in our world is loneliness. So we're going to try and beat that by connecting everybody. We're also going to have our TV portal, so you can check us out on Roku around the world in 27 countries, along with Kojiko, where we're going to be debuting very shortly, and of course our YouTube. Just want to let people know that since I think it was let's say mid 2019, let's say March or April, maybe even into May, we have over 25,000 subscribers on Roku. Over 25,000 just since May. We're in 27 countries. It's a free subscription. You can also subscribe on YouTube, but we're really excited with Roku. So we can showcase our abilities and people's abilities and information, education, community around the world. So again, join us on Roku. We're 25,000+, and we're in 27 countries, and we're going to be showcasing our mobile app. So getting back to that, social media is going to be on there, job portals, chat line, and TV.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be very exciting. So you can download for 99 cents. All proceeds will go towards our employment programs, so we can give opportunity to persons with disabilities or just people down on their life.
That's
right?
wonderful.
So that's great. So that's our first one. Our second one is we're going to be having a music fundraiser platform. Once a month, we're going to be going out in the GTA all over Toronto with a fantastic band, maybe the best Southern Ontario band you'll ever hear, called Freedom Train. Mm-hmm. Actually, we're going to be going to Rockin' Docks. They play Rockin' Docks in Port Credit once a week, so we're going there actually tonight. So starting in December, I'm going to give more details as we go along, but right now we're just confirming our first event in out west. I won't say where just as of yet, but again, it's going to be a fundraiser, live entertainment. All proceeds go towards our employment programs.
Wonderful.
And the last one I'm going to bring up is the Super Bowl. So the Disability Channel with our crackerjack reporter, Dave Stevens. What a guy. Check him out, Dave Stevens. Go to our website. So we're going back to the Super Bowl for the third time this year. Big time. It's already confirmed. We're going to be there for the whole week in Media Row. Come on by, say hi to Dave. Dave's going to be interviewing everybody. Check out our website. He's interviewed everybody from Roger Goodell to the Gronk, to Rod Carew, to Mike Trout, everywhere. So that's our big three bets. We have so much more going on, but I want to thank the community. I want to thank our sponsors like Leggett, Greening, White's International, Daniels Group, Artscape, on and on and on. Yeah. The list goes on and on. We're always looking for more. We're always looking for more supporters. So
please
come on in again.
Come and support us.
Yeah. So if you want to find information about our programs, you can talk to Steph. She's our guru here. If you want to find out any more information about the Disability Channel, just go to our website. And if you want to give me a call, I'm sure Steph can give out my information. But again, Steph, I really want to thank you for all you're doing. This is awesome. This is awesome, guys. So
Thank you.
I'm going to take off. You can return to the show, and I really appreciate the offer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us.
My story is one that continues to change each year. It always adapts. As I grow older, something new happens. I was born and raised here in DuQuoin, Illinois, obviously born without my left hand, and sports was everything to me. I mean, from the time I came out that womb, it was said that I was born with a ball in my hand. Every year, as I got older and older, you'd hear the same thing every year. You're not good enough to play at the next level. You can play t-ball, but there's no way you're going to be good enough to play coach pitch. It's not safe for you to play. When someone tells you that you can't do something, you can do two things, okay? There's two options. You can quit, you can walk away, you can forget about it, you can let them win. Or you can take all that doubt, all that disbelief that they have in you, and you turn that into fuel. You turn that into fuel to fuel a fire to prove everyone who ever doubts you wrong. You're gonna have people who try to put limitations on you throughout your life. You're gonna have so many people tell you what you are and are not capable of. But there's one strength that everyone can have. It is a strength that is unmatched. It is a strength that no one can be stronger than. Faith. Faith in the man above, that he's got you no matter what. That no matter where you're going in life, no matter what you're doing in life, he's got you. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Tim Tebow made that Bible verse known to millions of people just by putting it on his eye black and playing the game. But let's talk about what I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That doesn't mean I can fly or anything like that. That means that as long as I trust in my God throughout my life, I may falter, I might stumble, but I will not fall. No matter what happens to me, I'm going to be okay because I've got my God right here walking beside me. Adversity is going to be thrown at you throughout your life, kids. There are going to be so many obstacles, and they're going to seem insurmountable. They're going to seem like I can't get up over this. I don't know what I'm going to do. The greatest people have a million excuses. It's the great ones, the ones that rise up and don't use any of them. If you do not use those excuses and you work your butt off and you put your heart into it, your blood, your sweat, your tears, and if you put faith in him, there's nothing you guys can't accomplish. The only person who can determine what you're capable of is the man upstairs and you. And it starts with you.
Hi, and welcome back to the TDC Today Show. Joining me is one of our Peel Digital Ventures students, James Banchon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thanks for having me over.
And James is going to be interning as a producer and show host.
Yes.
Now, before I speak with James, I just want to mention, when I was talking about the International Day of People with Disabilities before, I wanted to mention what the day is for. So it's for 5 things. It's for reflection, to look at our own past individual and collective actions and to identify our goals for the future. It's for celebration, to recognize and value the diversity of our global community and to cherish the role we all play regardless of our abilities. Learning, to understand and learn from the experiences of people living with a disability. And it is a day for optimism, to look towards the future and the creation of a world where a person is not characterized by their disabilities but by their abilities. And finally, it's a day of action, where all people, organizations, agencies, and charities not only show their support for International Day of People with Disabilities, but take on a commitment to create a world characterized by equal human rights. So that being said, I'm going to talk to you now about your experiences and what you hope to learn in digital ventures. And let's first talk about your experience. Do you want to, if you could tell the audience about what a bit about yourself first?
Of course. Once again, my name is James, and my disability is multiple sclerosis, for if anybody knows, MS for short. What it is an autoimmune disease targeting your spine and brain, affecting your cognitive functions and many other parts of the brain. It's known as an invisible disease, meaning that you look fine, but in your body, in your nervous system, everything is being affected in many ways that other people cannot see. Some people need assisted devices. Some people need personal support workers, and others live independently just fine, like mine, with minor situations to go through on a daily basis.
You were diagnosed pretty young too, right?
Yes, I was diagnosed when I was 16.
And how did that affect as far as your career goals and moving forward? How did that affect you?
First, let me talk about my motor skills. In order to make it anywhere, you need to be able to commute. MS affected one of those motor functions, but thanks to the services all over Ontario, I was able to go to my proper place around town in order for me to get my daily things done. So really I'm seeking out for help, and that help has been delivered.
And your career goals, you have a background in audio engineering. Tell us about that.
Yes. For many years, I have studied audio engineering. Similar to film work with the technology such as microphones and such, and especially the technology, audio engineers help record that sound, mix it, and design it for commercial expectations. It could be anything from a commercial to an album to live performance.
So with the Digital Ventures class, that is a great background to have because you want to intern as a producer and host. So how do you want to use that at moving forward? What do you want to do?
I think digital ventures for many things. One of them is helping me find my own voice, helping me realize my own voice. So my plan is, I plan to take these skills into the job industry, hopefully go for radio, open up my own fundraisers, maybe promote music in local areas which I know. And of course, help anyone who has an interest in music. And hopefully I will take them to the right path with the knowledge I know, thanks to Digital Ventures on my presentation skills, and thanks to my audio training for the technological stuff, on my goals for recording music.
And you want to learn to be a radio host?
Yes.
You were saying, yeah. So you're excited about that possibility?
I am interested in being a radio host. I love being in a station, being in front of the camera and telling the world what's new for today. I want to be able to spread the word, whether it be commercial, sports, or music. I want to be able to share that information to the world.
Wonderful, James. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having me.
welcome back to the TDC Today Show, and I'd like to introduce another student from the Peel Digital Ventures class. This is Kendrick Ujana.
Hi there.
Hi, Kendrick. Welcome.
Hi.
So, what have you learned so far from being in digital ventures, and what are you hoping to do? I know you already work with the Disability Channel. You're an amazing graphic artist, so tell us more.
Well, aside from being a graphic designer, I did learn what social media is able to do in this day and age. I mean, aside from let's say, focusing on like current events that are trending, I'd say it's also good at like expanding your product, your brand, and like so forth. Yeah. Yes.
And so, what is your favorite thing that you're working on?
The presentation project, where you basically have to do like a presentation of like what you're most passionate about. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what do you hope to achieve in the future?
What I hope to achieve, well, I hope to learn what I can, like, let's say, gather from digital ventures and implement what I've learned into the disability channel, which of course is right here, and I also work here. So.
So you want to continue as a graphic designer?
Yes, I do.
What in the future with graphic design, is there something specific that you want to go into with it, or just in general for media?
Well, for now, it's mostly like just getting into the graphics, and well, outside of that, I'm hoping, well, since we are doing the Today Show, I am probably thinking of doing like, let's say, interviews, but that's like...
So you'd be interested in possibly hosting?
Yes.
Ah,
Which
see,
is-
I did not know that about him. Interesting. Well, we'll keep that in mind.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The primary purpose of inviting you all here today is to recognize and say a heartfelt thank you to our donors. Without you, this facility wouldn't be. The most important aspect of the vision of this facility was to build a people place. People that people actually come to. Because there really isn't a lot of sense of having stories about your history that people won't come and experience it. We asked the families of our Burlington villagers to
Welcome back to the TDC Today Show. I'd like to thank Brands for Canada, who are an integral part of our platform, and we very much appreciate their support and their involvement. And I'd like to welcome William Jackson, who is another student, our Peel Digital Ventures class, and welcome.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Stephanie.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, of course, my name is William Jackson. I have a disability called ADHD, and I have a little bit of a learning disability, also known as developmentally delayed. I was born with it when I was a kid, when I was first born, actually. But I didn't know that I had the disability until I was 4. So I basically got made fun of in throughout public school and high school, but I managed to get through it.
And how did you find Digital Ventures?
Well, speaking of Brands for Canada, I got sent through Brands for Canada because I was with their program, their job program at the time, and they suggested that I should be with, I should come to the Digital Ventures program in Peel. So, and here I am.
So what have you learned so far in the
So
class?
far?
What have you enjoyed the most so far?
So far, I'm learning how to become a podcast creator slash producer. So far, I've learned basically basic ropes on how to become like do podcasting and stuff like that.
And what do you hope to achieve with that, or as you go forward into the future? What would you like to do?
As I go forward, I would like to learn how to become a podcast creator and producer, like how to go forward with the podcast, and how to like to search on the topics and stuff, because I know how to make podcasts is not hard. Is not I should say is not easy.
Exactly.
It's not an easy job to have, but it's good. It's a good job to have. I listen to podcasts on a daily basis, and I love the jobs of podcast.
And so with your podcast that you want to produce, tell the audience a little bit about what you want to create with your podcast. What type of podcast?
Well, the podcast that I want to create is like a various type podcast, so it depends on the day. Like, say if like I want to talk about like disability and like how to cope with your disability. Like, say if someone uses the R word or whatever, to just, be yourself.
Right.
Be yourself.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, William.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, and Frank, it's been an exciting show today.
It has been excellent, and what great stories that we've
Oh,
heard.
yeah. Wonderful
Great
guests.
experiences. It's just terrific and great. That's your digital class.
That's it, exactly.
Awesome. I love it.
Actually, the inaugural class for Peel.
Excellent.
So wonderful. Very proud of them.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
So thank you so much for joining us today. Check out TDC's website. You can find us on Roku, on YouTube, and coming soon on Kojiko. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again next time.
See you. Bye. Bye for now.